Good morning, everyone. A little bit of a change in venue today. Our table is set with earth, air, fire, and water. Earth to the north, air to the east, fire to the south, and water to the west. Wet west. I'm shuffling the deck, and we're going to see what we get today. Let's find out. Okie dokie. So we have the High Priestess, the Chariot. Man, there's a lot of major arcana today. King of Cups, that's a good one. And then we have Three of Pentacles. All right. So the north in our earth, which is everything physical. So it can be our work, it could be our living space, things that are nurturing us. We have the High Priestess. Beautiful card. The entrance to Solomon's temple. Okay, so with the High Priestess, what we're seeing is that we need to start nurturing our growth and development in our homes. So that's, if you have been living in your home and you haven't been practicing your ritual, whatever it is you may believe, whatever it is you may call God or goddess or goddess or goddesses, you're being called to go back into that. It's time for meditation, reflection, and work on your craft and dive into your ritual. You're kind of feeling a little disconnected from that. It's time to hop back on board. In air, we have conflict and discipline. We have chariots, and the chariots are all about getting your discipline in order and start moving in a direction. Sometimes when we start on a new adventure, we get a little bit lost. We feel ourselves being pulled back into the directions that we used to be in. And so, but we're being called to move forward, especially when it comes to things such as the High Priestess in our homes telling us to start moving towards our belief structures and our rituals. So it's time for you to get the discipline to align yourself to your perfect path and go through it. Stop listening to the doubts and disbeliefs of your own mind. And in the Passion, we have inverted King of Cups. And so in the Passion house with the good old King of Cups, we're finding ourselves. The king is usually the person who has full control over their emotions and is quite intuitive and knows exactly what they're looking at. Now, with me drawing this on the Passion house, I think some of us, inverted. When I draw it inverted on the Passion house, think that you are not really in mastery of your emotions. You're letting your emotions go wild, which is not a good thing. And that is directly opposed to the High Priestess. Stop judging yourself for allowing things to get out of hand, out of the ordinary. And that also goes with the Three of Pentacles in the Water house. The Three is when we start seeing a return on the things that we are working on. This person has started mastering their craft. They've started working towards completing what they are doing, especially when it comes to nurturing household work. It's inverted, which tells us that, and it's also on the Water house, which tells us that we have lost our stepping with our work as well, and it's starting to make us feel pretty damn bad. It's okay to drop the ball. It's okay to be a little bit disorganized. The key is to get back on and keep moving. We are seeing ourselves with the High Priestess being called to start doing that, and the King of Cups, we're hearing ourselves to start, getting ourselves back in alignment with propriety in ourselves. Let's see what our head card is here. Oop. Okay, our heart card. We have Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is a very, it's inverted. A lot of us are going to be encountering this, and I think that's why we are lacking the discipline to move forward, and we are feeling very emotional about lacking that discipline, and we're not really seeking out our work, and we're feeling very emotional about that, and why we need to cleave to our High Priestess and that moment of spiritual freedom and enlightenment is because of this card, and it is inverted. The Two of Swords. Swords represent thoughts and disciplines and conflicts, and we are at conflict with ourselves. We sit in the middle with two swords, gripping them tightly, blindfolded. We can't really analyze the swords. What's truth? What's not truth? And so when we get to that stage of not being able to grip our swords, and we're looking at not being able to understand our swords, we just hold on to them and never make that decision. Ooh, there's a train. I heard a train. There's two swords. So what we need to do is put down our swords, take off our blindfold, analyze the swords for what they are, and make our decision. Now, this is inverted. We've known that we've had to make this decision for a very long period, and we are not. And that applies immediately to not being in touch with our higher self, with the high priestess, being out of sorts with the decisions that we're making, being emotional about that and passionately emotional about that, and not having the completion of our work. One more card on the side. Whoop, the Ace of Cups. Do not worry. With the Ace of Cups, what we are seeing is we're seeing ourselves embracing the High Priestess, and we see ourselves moving forward with the Chariot card and dealing with all those negative emotions that are running amok in the Passion House, and being able to figure out ourselves in the work environment with the Water House, making that decision and moving forward. So, a lot of you who know me will hear me say this a million times when in personal readings. It's time for us to embrace that Ace of Cups, start meditating more, writing down everything, journaling, and working through that. Walk forward bravely and with purpose towards those things that we must do that are holding us back. And that all comes in the root of the High Priestess in this reading of meditation, mentation, and getting to a position where we can get our emotions and our fears under control. And the Ace of Cups tells us that we do that. And that, my friends, is your Ravenwood Healer tarot reading for today. Please check out any of my other readings, and also you can check out any of my other videos. You can check me out also on Facebook at The Ravenwood Healer, and I've fired up my podcast again. Quite excited for that. You can see that on any of the major providers. Just look up Bucky's Pagan Guided Adventure, and you can catch me there as well. Like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.